Hi guys, thanks for clicking on the video. It's Jim here from Veggie Outdoors. I'm just heading down into some woodland that I've just been given permission to do some camping in, some shelter building and so on. So I'm just heading down to check it out for the first time. So let's have a look, see what it's like. Here we are at the entrance to the woods. This is my first time down here. I did come and try and scout out the other day, but I ran out of time before I managed to get down here after trying to find somewhere to park and things. So this is the first time I've managed to actually get into the woods, and looks great. I mean, look, trees as far as the eye can see. Okay guys, I think I found a place to set up my my little day camp. Only going to be here for a few hours really. I'm going to try and set up a tarp shelter and maybe try and make a fire if I have time to make myself a cuppa. It's a lovely little area, a lot of grass and moss, plenty of deadfall not too far, so see how we get on. So I haven't got a nice adventure tarp just yet, so at the moment I'm using this very cheap tarpaulin that I had lying around the house. So what I do here is I've made this knot, which the name I cannot remember at this point. Maybe you can drop that in the comments for me to remind me. And I've created a toggle using a bit of stick here. These knots are great because although they slide very easily, when you put some tension on them, they actually become very difficult to slide. So they're great for adjusting your tarps. So this is the kind of height that I'm going for. It's about just under chest height. It's only for a day, it's just to keep me out of the wind and somewhere to leave my kit. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a few pegs from some sticks just to peg this back section out. So I'm in an area that's got a lot of pine, so I'm just going to use this here to create some pegs. The ground's very soft because it's been raining pretty much constantly for the last week, so I'm just going to strip these parts off and snap there. 2, 3. Just going to use my knife to sharpen that end, not that we're really going to need too much of a sharp end. That should do it. So here's my tarp shelter. I'm literally only really using it to keep my gear under, just in case we have any rain. Haven't been forecast any rain today, so hopefully it's going to stay beautiful. I mean, look at that sun. Just made myself a little toggle to hang my fleece on. So my tarp's all set up. Now I'm going to clear the area and I think I'm going to make myself a little heat reflector for my fire. Found a bone here, guys. So, you know, we're in the south of England, we don't have too many predators here. I mean, you might get a nasty nip from a badger. The only other real predators that we would have would be a fox, but they tend to scavenge quite a lot. Any idea what this bone is from, guys? Drop me a message in the comments. Let me know what you think it is. So I'm just going to have a scope around and see if I can find any supporting beams that I can use for my fire reflector. There's quite a lot of deadfall around, as you can see. It's pretty much everywhere, so I'm looking for a few bits that are going to be quite dry still and of a decent thickness so that they can take a little bit of weight. So I found this branch here. It's pretty much all off the floor, so I'm going to take that back, process it and use that for my supporting structure. Always put your sheath back on your axe. Don't want any nasty accidents. This is hard work when you're first starting out with an axe. Okay, so this is the beginning of my heat reflector. All I've got is 4 stakes smacked into the ground. I'm just going to get some sticks, not too thick. This isn't going to need to last me very long, so I'm not going for something substantial today. And then I'm going to fill up the space in between. Okay, so here's my heat reflector. Could be a lot better. There's a lot of holes in it, but best I could do it very quick. I don't have a great deal of time out here today, so best get what I can get done quick. Okay guys, so I've got myself a little base camp set up. I'm going to try and make myself a fire now and boil up some water. That's obviously the most important thing that you need when you're looking at a survival situation, or if you're just out camping for an evening. So I'm going to give that a go now. I don't have high hopes, everything's pretty wet, but I'll give it my best shot. I've actually got this big pile of fairly dry wood next to my camp, so that's quite handy. Just sifting through, seeing what's usable and what's not. This stuff's pretty dry, so this should help get things going. Just going to snap these down a little bit, make them a bit more usable. This smaller stuff I can strip off to use for kindling to get everything going. Okay, so I've collected some firewood and I'm going to give a go at lighting a fire here and see if I can get some water boiling. I've chosen to bring some birch bark because I knew it was wet out here, so I wanted to make sure that I had something that I could at least get to light. So let's give it a go, see what happens. Maybe I have a cup of tea, maybe I don't. We'll find out. So let's quickly go through what I've got here. I've got some birch bark here and some shavings from some carving I was doing the other day. After that I've got this. It's going to act as my kindling once I've got a fire. A flame. This is nice and dry, should go up very easily. Then I'll move on to the pencil type thickness stuff here, and finally on to the slightly bigger stuff. Obviously I don't need to go much bigger than this because I'm only doing a small fire, just a quick one. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get something going. In my last video, a few people commented thinking that I was using the blade edge of my knife. I just want to clear up that it definitely wasn't. I've been using this flat edge because it's got some 90-degree angles, which is far better for striking on. And again, flat edge. That's good start. Nice and quick. So that, all this is going to draw the fire up through. Start adding my slightly thicker sticks to the top here. Now please keep in mind I do have permission to be doing this. This is a local estate to me, and I got in touch via their estate office, asked about making fires, overnight stays, and they were absolutely fine as long as I leave no trace. So keep that in mind. That's a good way of getting access to woodland. Happily surprised this is going so well. I thought with the rain that we'd been having that I wasn't really going to get very far with this. Really pleased with this. Really chuffed. Need to get myself a nice base. Got quite a lot of dry grasses around, so I'm going to add those, try and pull that flame really through that layer of pencil-sized sticks. It's important to keep building it. The camera fell over. It's important to keep building it, keep the small stuff coming on top as well. The early stages of the fire is when it's most vulnerable to going out, so we want to make sure that we keep this going. Got some dry leaves as well, these are always handy. I'm going to start putting these bigger sticks on now. Again, I'm going to add some of this dry grass to try and really pull the flames through. You'll notice that the wind has changed direction and I'm now smoking out my tarp shelter. The fire's going, so that's a bonus. Okay, I'm going to try and create something here so that I can place my water on the fire. Obviously I don't really want to just place it straight on the top here, that might not be so clever. Really I want it on the edge here. Maybe if I can get down in there. Eventually what I want is I want to get one of the zebra billy cans, and then I would make a crane arm here, which then I could hang over a much bigger fire. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be able to do much cooking on this, but we'll see what happens. Smoke. I've really smoked myself out here. Wind has changed direction and now it's just blowing straight in here. In my eagerness to get out of the house this morning, I forgot a cup. Yeah. Now, it's not too much of a problem. I always make sure I've got a spare bottle with me, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to cut this up to use as a cup for my tea. See how that goes. Always remember to take rubbish home with you. I'm an advocate of leave no trace, so once I've finished here I will clean up so that it appears like I've not been here at all. You may have noticed I sniff a lot. I have hay fever, so one of the best things I could possibly do is be out in the wilderness. It's starting to get round to the season for pollens as well. I'm sure there's going to be some grass pollens coming in soon, and they're going to set me off like a fire hydrant. Don't know if you can see this, but I'm starting to get a little bit of action. There's definitely some heat coming into that water now. Okay, so my battery's actually starting to run low, so I'm going to try and cut this short. I'm probably going to have a bit of a warm cup of tea rather than boiling cup of tea, so let's see how this works. Tea bag. Water. Be very careful here. There's a bit of ash in there, but you know, it doesn't kill you, makes you stronger and all that. Whew. So obviously, plastic, hot water, shrinks. Always remember that. Just leave that to do its thing. Get some holes into here so that the water that I pour on can really get down and through.